Thanks, Jason, for everything you did. Okay, JP, do you want to come up quickly and give your little announcement to everybody? That's fine with me. We have a few minutes for you to do that.
I love making long stories short, so anyway, just really excited to hear about Jason's project and Team Hemp. That is awesome, and that's a big project. The Hemp House that we're going to build, we'll call it a cabin, because it is. It's a friend of ours there with us who, a couple years ago during the High Park fire, lost his cabin that he built in the 70s with his own 2 hands, and he scrapped together used materials and windows and things like that to come up with this, and it burned down about the same time that I was learning to build with hemp for building materials. So we've been working with him and helping him heal through that process. And when we first started talking to him about rebuilding up there, he said, no, I don't even see any reason to go back up to that piece of property. I'm done with it. So we kept talking to him, we kept sharing with him how excited we were about industrial hemp and building houses with that. And I ran into him at Home Depot a few weeks ago, and he looked at me and he said, JP, I'm ready to build this house. Can we do it with hemp? So I got on the phone and I started looking around, and we have secured some more of our supplies. We're working on bettering our price so that we can restore Larry to a more whole level and help him finish that healing process by building him a super energy efficient, much healthier, much more durable, well-designed cabin that will be available. He's decided to not rent it out full-time like he has in the past, but he's going to allow us to show it to people, and we'll be able to possibly rent a night or two there to actually stay and live in a hemp home and see what it feels like. And so we're super excited to share that project with you, and as someone mentioned earlier, we're going to be having a whole workshop series to show new people how to build with industrial hemp, but also we'll have a workshop on timber framing where we're going to take the logs that were lost in the fire but are still suitable to build with, and we'll hand hew those timber frame techniques and show you how to do those all the way to one of our last workshops where we'll feature the beautiful summer star helping us outfit the end part of the cabin where we do hemp textile window coverings, floor coverings, sheets, pillowcases, everything, so that we can make this a healthier home for people to enjoy. This is my partner, Josh Ray.
Hello. I wasn't planning on speaking. I know there's a lot of people here that have many great things to say, but I just want to say we're excited. We love the way this industry is going. We just can't believe how far everybody's coming, and we applaud everybody's efforts. Who's on the panel, everybody who's been doing this for 30 years that maybe you haven't heard about, and we applaud everybody's efforts. I firmly believe we're looking at social change through industrial hemp. I believe that we are going to be able to use this as a catalyst for healing and growth as people, as a planet, and well, JP and I'd like to get a shot to have a proof of concept to show one way that we can use industrial hemp for our healing as a people on the planet. So thank you guys very much. If you'd like to know more, we have a website called Hemp Seed Revival, so please go on and check us out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Okay, real quick, like I said, Jared Polis's office was supposed to make it today, but unfortunately, due to a family emergency, she is in Canada currently. She did email me some answers to some very important questions that have been asked, so I'm going to just go over those real quick, and then we're going to get to the Q&A for the audience, so get your questions ready for the panel members. First question, can we import viable seed from Canada or other country? As of right now, no, because hemp is still considered a Schedule I controlled substance on the list. You cannot import it through traditional means. You may apply for importation through the USDA, but as of yet, our office has not heard if there has been any success with this application. Let's see, what else is important for everyone to know? How and who will be able to import seed? Like all plant material, an individual or business will need to apply to the USDA to import seed. The application is called the Application to Import Plants or Plant Products. Again, the USDA application to import seed is called Application to Import Plants or Plant Products. Let's see. Is there an estimated time frame for the DEA to make changes, decisions, etc. regarding important declassification of hemp onto the controlled substance list? She answers back, as of right now, there is not. Jared Polis is working hard to ensure Colorado hemp farmers and producers will have the opportunity to sustain this new crop. Since R&D, research and development, has been legalized on the federal level under certain conditions, will commercial hemp farmers be at risk by the feds? For example, insurance issues, subsidies being taken back, charges, other. She says the DOJ has confirmed there will be no repercussions at the federal level. Also, there are new banking measures to help local farmers. There's no grant money available under the bill, but she does encourage everybody to search out SBA loans and go to the Colorado Department of Agriculture for grants. And one last question was, is there going to be any concern for the hemp farmer and banking issues like there is in the other side of the cannabis world right now? And her answer is, it will not be under the new banking guidelines. So that is pretty much the answers from Polis's office. If anybody has specific federal level questions like that, please let me know and I will get them to her and get them answered. So again, thank you panel for speaking today, and I'm going to start with questions. Does anyone have any questions for the panel?
Hello. Greg, can you get this open?
Hello?
Yes, okay.
Hi. This question is probably more for Stan. And under the laws of Boulder County, would one be able to grow hemp and marijuana on the same property, whether it be indoors or out?
I can probably answer without a microphone. The question is whether, under the laws of Boulder County, you can grow both hemp and marijuana in the same property. And it's a complicated answer, as almost anything legal is, especially anything involving hemp, cannabis, and marijuana. First of all, the key issue at this point is how Boulder County is going to deal with the issue of regulation of hemp growth in Boulder County, in particular in connection with property that has a connection to the county. That's not an issue for the district attorney. That's an issue for the Boulder County commissioners working with the county attorney. The most difficult concern they have, I've had some informal conversations with them, is the fact that Boulder County gets some federal money, currently a fair amount of it on flood relief, etc. And there's a concern about whether Boulder County is putting itself at risk due to the fact that, of course, marijuana is still a Schedule I controlled substance on the federal level. So the short answer at the moment is probably not, but it depends on how the regulations develop in the future.
Did that answer your question?
As much as it can be answered.
Okay, let me know if you have follow-up.
Can I mention something to that point? One thing that's very interesting that a lot don't realize is all of our cannabis cousins are some of the highest pollinating plants on earth, and you wouldn't necessarily want to grow those two together because your hemp is going to make your other hemp. Okay, so you definitely have to have some spacing.
what little bit of studies have been done on that in Canada and throughout Europe and Russia are showing at the very least a mile and a half, up to 3 to 10 miles away. So we need to regionalize, and this is more reason why everybody needs to communicate, what areas are doing what, can we try to not be afraid of being loud and proud of what we're doing so our neighbors know, and watch out for each other a little bit.
Can you touch on what kind of drawings? You have to say it on the mic because people on the internet that are speaking right now want questions.
At Ryan Laughlin's this year, he grew several different varieties within 55 acres, and it all pollinated each other, so it all became one strand. There were 5 different strands, and at the end he had one strand. So you have to be very careful about what you're putting. Keep it feminized or not.
Okay, any other questions? Do you mind coming up here only because my mic won't reach all the way over there, sorry. Next in the red. Oh, thanks, Greg. Hello.
First off, I'd like to thank you guys for all the hard work that you guys have done for cannabis and hemp and sharing this information with us today. Very beneficial. This is actually in line with what we were just talking about. I do have a question. Hemp is an excellent plant, and one of those attributes is something that's very beneficial in Kentucky and Tennessee. What we just spoke about is its cross-pollination, and that would be excellent for inhibiting the growth of marijuana if they want in those states. My question is here in Colorado, are we able to communicate more? And because mom and dad are going to get excited about growing hemp, so they're going to plant 10 plants in their backyard, and then next neighborhood over, the medicine there is just completely destroyed, cross-pollinated, worthless. So I don't know if there's a way that we can speak and I can maybe do hemp like out on the eastern slope or out in like Loma or like lower lands or something like that. Is there a way so cross-pollination doesn't happen so much?
All I can suggest is a good HEPA filter for any of the other cannabis growers. Ben, do you want to touch that topic at all? Of how they're going to protect themselves?
I have no idea how they're going to protect themselves. I will say that the pollen is roughly 20 to 30 microns in size, and it can be filtered out with a 1 micron to 5 micron filter. So greenhouses can be set up that way. Typically, pollination is done under a fabric of like row cover. So if you're running rooms full of tomatoes or rooms full of some self-pollinating plant, you can isolate those with these fabrics. It's sort of at the development level. When you're talking about large installations of this 10 acres, 100 acres, that cloud is sort of think of it as a spot, and it moves with the wind. 7 miles, 8 miles is a realistic buffer zone between crops. If you look at, I've had a chance to meet a lot of seed makers up in the northern part of the state and people who are in the business of making pulses and grains for planting seed. And they stick themselves so far off in the corners of the state in these areas that there is no chance of it. And they're working with very large, very valuable seed crops for, let's say, wheat or alfalfa. Those can be ruined by cross-pollination. So that's really the method or the strategy that most seed makers have that scale in the state is just isolation. It's a big state, and that's probably the easiest way to deal with the problem.
Can I say a quick thing on that one? California's hemp law does specify certain counties where industrial cannabis is grown that are far away from the famous Emerald Triangle region. So it's a real issue that you have to think about, and it's really interesting to hear from you guys talking about the economy of filtering, because that's a solution, and I just want to stress that it is something that you definitely want to think about.
I'll make one quick comment on that. Beyond filters, there's and this might be some that you're familiar with, but a plenum system, which is basically a room filter, is something that we utilize for a larger scale system. So that I'm kind of familiar with from my old projects back in the day, working on the Rocky Flats litigation, or closure project, excuse me.
All I can see is we're going to have a really good seed bank in like 5 to 10 years. Okay, Fred?